Whoop FM is a broadcasting service of the Traditional Music Resource Center, and we play America's original music.
Check into cash.
Turn your car into cash at Check Into Cash.
Get an auto title loan today for up to $2,500.
At Check Into Cash, you get the most for your car, and we make it quick, easy, and confidential.
Stop in for an auto title loan today or a payday advance for up to $425. Call toll-free 877-262-CASH.
Title loan amount determined by value of car and ability to repay. Borrowers often use payday advances over a period of months, which can be expensive. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
Guns, guns, and more guns. That's right, folks. U.S. Money Shops has just received a large shipment of pre-owned Glock 22s, 23s, and the awesome Beretta 8040D Cougar. These guns are law enforcement trade-ins that start at just $379.99 while supplies last. At U.S. Money Shops, there's no shortage of guns, so if you're looking for a great deal on a newer pre-owned gun, then check us out first.
Buy or sell or buy today. The better way at U.S. Money Shops.
Visit usmoneyshops.com for the location nearest you.
If you need a little green, Lending Frog is making deals. He'll lend you cash on any kind of wheels. Borrow just a little, or you can borrow big. Lending Frog is a new financial gig. It's hip to hop into cash. LendingFrog.com is making a splash. Dig it, dig it. Dig it, dig it.
Looking to purchase your next pre-owned vehicle? At Buy Here, Pay Here USA, it's $500 today and drive it away. That's right. You can leave our lot with a new pre-owned vehicle for as little as $500 down. We also offer the best customer confidence program around, so we can take great care of you and your vehicle. Visit Buy Here, Pay Here USA in Cleveland, Dayton, or our new Chattanooga location. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See store for details.
One day I'll cross over the Jordan and find my Savior waiting there for me. He'll take me down the streets of gold. Oh Lord, I've been told he's got a pretty mansion just for me. No, you won't need a real estate agent in heaven to help you find a place to call your own. 'Cause he'll prepare for you your own sweet home. Yes, when you're through the pearly gates and you see him face to face, now that's when you'll be home, sweet home. No, you won't need a real estate agent in heaven, but if you need one here in Cleveland, Tennessee, give me a call. Kathy Rosenberger, 476-5532. That's Kathy Rosenberger, 476-5532. Coldwell Banker Hamilton and Associates, each office independently owned and operated.
Hello, this is Josh Weekly with the Bald Headed Bistro. With spring in the air and summer around the corner, come see us for an enjoyable night out on the town. You can enjoy our covered patio or sit in our intimate dining room. Either way, you'll leave happy. Also, check us out on Facebook for great summer events like Supper Club, Chef Dinner, and weekend specials. Hope to see you soon here at the Bald Headed Bistro.
Every morning, the sun greets you, as reliable as a Trane heating and cooling system. Well, almost. Because no matter the temperature outside, it's always perfect inside. And when the sun calls it a day, a Trane system is there to say goodnight. Heating, cooling, and beyond.
Need to perfect the temperature in your home? Call the Trane Comfort Specialist at Mechanical Systems, 336-5739. High-quality service and installation for more than 30 years.
It's hard to stop a Trane.
You're listening to Backfire with Steve Hickson on Whoop FM. Call 423-614-5553 to join in on the conversation. Now, back to Backfire.
All right, welcome back to another edition of Backfire. I want to ask another question here. Sanctuary cities, what are they? And what are they good for?
Well, the term is not really an accurate one. It's a serious issue here, but that term creates an image that's not really accurate. What you have is a lot of communities where there is a tremendous amount of migrant work that gets done. San Francisco is a good example. That's the most current one because they have such proximity to the grape harvest, and that's highly dependent upon immigrant labor. And what happens is they get immigrants there, and for whatever reason, maybe an immigrant gets a DUI
or a murder.
Well, okay, you can.
Okay.
Murder's not a good example under this
drug
circumstance, and it's minor offenses typically. And what happens is
vehicular homicide.
Go ahead, Franklin.
I'm sorry, John's lapsing into kindergarten again.
Okay.
What happens is the local community arrests these individuals
for vehicular
and then
homicide.
ICE, the immigration enforcement groups are put on notice of this. And unfortunately, because of a lack of resources in some cases, and because they prioritize more serious offenses over lesser ones, those people would end up having to stay in jail for a long period of time at the expense of the taxpayers in those local communities. So,
couldn't they just send them back to where they came from?
Well, no. Cities don't have that capability. They don't have the ability to do that.
What does the city do if they have something
well,
like that?
What the cities have done and what they call sanctuary cities are, after 3 to 5 days, if they haven't been picked up at that point, they release them rather than continue to house them. And that's the sanctuary side of it. Now, if they've committed a felony, that doesn't apply.
You mean like the guy that murdered Kate Steinle?
Well, because the feds came and got them.
Actually, the San Francisco sheriff let him loose even though the feds said he had committed felonies.
No, you understand what I'm saying.
Look, here's what I understand. A girl's dead. A girl's dead because San Francisco City Council made a political decision.
And that's a tragedy. But that ought to lead to having a serious conversation about the issue instead of just being a smart aleck about it.
Is it legal or illegal for a city to disregard federal law?
It's not illegal or legal. It's neither of those.
So a city doesn't have to obey federal law. Is that what you're saying?
That's not the issue at all.
It is
not
the
a federal
issue,
law that requires them to do that.
Well, right here, Senator Grassley is putting a bill together that will block funding for cities and other local governments that decline to cooperate with the federal immigration.
They haven't refused to cooperate. What they've said is,
did the guy that killed Kate Steinle have a detainer from ICE on him? Did the San Francisco Sheriff's Office get a detainer and say, hold this guy because he's got...
I don't know the answer
They
to that.
did.
I don't know the answer.
And you know what the sheriff did? He said, I don't care. And he turned him loose. And he killed Kate Steinle. It's as simple as that, Franklin. So the sheriff, in his political judgment, turned a guy loose who is a danger to society, and he killed this young woman.
Here is an opportunity for a serious discussion if someone had the courage to actually have it.
If we had a president like the previous presidents, not just Bush, who actually forced these cities to comply with federal law, it'd be one thing. But the Obama administration made it clear that
you're now, wait a minute, you're now the one who has completely turned your hat around and is now arguing that you want local governments to comply with federal mandates.
Franklin,
that's just amazing.
No, apparently you can't. No. Here, let me explain it to you because apparently you don't understand the nuance here. I may be against a huge plethora of federal mandates, but I believe in the system. So when the government passes a mandate, I don't believe you can have cities or individuals flagrantly violate the rule of law. I may want the law changed. I may go to Congress and petition Congress to change it, but I will obey it.
Maybe, if you really believed a shred of what you said, you would step up and say, we need to pay for the resources to do this enforcement. But instead, you're going to change your hat back around and say, oh, we need less government. You can't have it both ways.
You want to know one of the reasons a lot of us think we need less government? Because when you put your faith in a sheriff like the San Francisco Sheriff's Department, your daughter gets shot in the back because he's incompetent.
Easier for
How many times
is
this guy
sanctimonious and say, "Oh, we got to do
this." A young woman is dead because of your political machinations.
How many times?
And largely because your party refuses to pay for it.
Now wait a minute. Let's talk about
because you put your pocketbook ahead of those lives.
Let's talk about your party a minute. Let's talk about your party a minute. How many times has your party let this guy back in this country?
5 times. Actually 6, I believe.
No, those
so
weren't
would
all
that
during
be
our
your party that's done that?
Some of them.
Huh?
It's
Some
this
of them.
administration.
Some of them.
So if our party got rid of him, your party brought him back. Is that what?
No, that means our party got rid of him 5 times too, and he came back.
So
So
that makes 5 times plus 1 correct? I mean,
Look,
should he
Frank,
not
No,
have been
it's
sent
not
back?
that. No, the point is,
Should he not be in
the
jail?
The point is, stop complaining if you're not willing to pay for a solution. That's the problem.
always more money.
No, yeah,
it's
but that's
never
the thing.
competency.
So you
it's
think
never
you-
ethics. It's
You're
always
you
more
think,
money.
You think you can put Elmer Fudd on a 2,000-mile
Well,
border,
let me give
and
you
we're going to
let
be
me give you
secure?
an example, Franklin. Here's the problem with your argument.
That's your argument.
The feds think that $3.5 million to study why lesbians are fat is a good expense, but keeping a convicted illegal alien in jail so he doesn't shoot a young woman in the back is a bad expense.
Do you think he should be kept in jail here or deported?
I don't know. I'm still.
No,
I'm, no,
answer
what,
the question.
Well,
Deported.
I can't, Franklin.
Okay, then we deported him 5 times.
No, Franklin,
Yes,
I can't
he
answer
So
it.
what's
He
the
shouldn't
real?
be allowed back in. How did he get back in? How did he get back in?
illegal
Because the border
immigration.
is porous because we
That's
don't
right.
enforce
He
the
is
border.
right. The border is porous, and guess what? It will cost some money to fix it.
Well,
Are you willing to pay for it?
I don't know, Franklin.
Oh my God!
Yes.
We
Well, wait a
just
minute,
solved
Franklin.
the problem.
We haven't solved the problem because I'm still hung up on why lesbians are fat.
Yes.
You want to rephrase
Yes.
that, John?
No, that's the government
Are we
study.
going to wait? Are we going to wait until Donald Trump fixes it?
Instead of spending $3.5 million to secure the border, and there are multiple projects, we spend it on a study to determine, and that's their own terminology, why lesbians are fat.
This president has increased the number
For
of
why
border,
lesbians are fat studies.
of border agents on our border. We need more resources. Are you willing to
Well, I
pay
tell you
for
what,
them?
Franklin, why
or
don't you
are you
ask-
going to sit
Yes.
there
Why don't you
and
ask
take
the Border Patrol
politically
Union?
chicken
Why don't
response
you ask the
and
Border
say,
Patrol
cut the
Union who's
government?
suing the Obama administration as we speak?
Steve and I got the problem solved. We don't need you for this one, John.
We can stop it at the
I
border.
agree we could
Put
do
me
it.
in charge for a year. I promise
Guess
you
what,
it'll
though,
stop.
Franklin? Steve won't raise taxes to do it. He'll
That's
cut
right.
the funding from somewhere else.
That's right.
That's the difference.
There's a lot of places to cut.
Like
cut.
Planned
I agree
Parenthood.
there are lots
Hey,
of places you
Franklin,
can
by the
cut.
way, how much would $500 million a year do, like we spend on Planned Parenthood, to secure the border? Let's stop that right now, and I'll dedicate that entire $500 million to the border.
Obamacare is going to take care of Planned Parenthood. Am I right?
Well, yeah, they're going to take care of them as long as they provide
So
the
we
votes
don't need
for him.
Planned Parenthood anymore.
For example, I'll give you an example here. 2 of the states who've done the Medicaid expansion, they incorporated this unique feature in it. They provided that younger women can get long-term birth control solutions, IUDs, that sort of thing. Okay, guess what?
What?
In a year and a half, the unplanned pregnancy rate for women ages 16 to 25 fell 65%. So if you're pro-life, get off your fanny
Actually,
and do
Franklin,
something about
I'm glad
it.
you brought that up because
65% in a
Republicans
year
have
and a half.
suggested that for decades, and we were told that we were being
65%
we were
in
being
a year
too
and a
hard
half.
on the women, that we couldn't ask them to do that.
This didn't ask anybody to do anything. They just made it available.
Well,
all right.
65%.
A lot of us think it ought to be mandatory if you're on government support.
65%.
Let's take a phone call. Go ahead, caller. You're live.
Well, I have a question about, I guess, controlling funding, federal funding. I know in education that if you don't follow the rules that are set forth for those federal dollars, those dollars are removed. They're not just removed on the education level, they're removed unilaterally. If we can do it and follow it on education, why can we not follow it in these sanctuary cities if they're not following the mandates? Federal dollars are removed. It doesn't look like it would require extra people to monitor it. And
Do we need to have federal? Do we need to have federal contracts?
Well, what it means is we've gotten into that problem here locally several times. We had like an $8 million federal grant, and one minor little thing was a mistake. We did something wrong. It jeopardized the entire $8 million. Why should we send any money to San Francisco if they won't obey federal law?
Well, in our we, meaning the federal government?
Meaning the federal government. And the reason is this administration made a decision early on that it wasn't going to challenge sanctuary cities. And so the blood of Kate Steinle is clearly on San Francisco's hands, and it's on the Obama administration's hands.
They're not going to challenge pot in these cities.
He hadn't called Kate Steinle's family. He called the brown boy in Ferguson who turned out to be a criminal thug, but he hadn't called Kate Steinle's family.
Why do you think he does? He reacts that way, Franklin?
Well, I think he was reacting to try to deal with the rioting, not with the grief for the family.
Well,
trying to deal with the rioting.
Five Chattanooga servicemen? He hadn't called any of them. He played golf Sunday.
Does it take a right to get his attention? Does it take a right to get his attention?
I followed this issue while I was gone, and I had a completely different perspective on this. Over 4,000 American troops have died in the last 15 years in combat. They didn't all get calls from the president.
Really?
And no, they didn't. A lot of them got letters. In fact, he does send letters to them.
Are you familiar with how he recognized Whitney Houston?
He did not. That was Chris Christie who did that, and that's the chicken. John, it would be nice if you brought some facts to this discussion. I saw that go all across the internet. That was just a darn lie.
What was it?
That he lowered the flag.
He
for
didn't
Whitney
do
Houston.
that. Chris Christie, your Republican candidate, did that in his state.
Did he call Matthew Brown, or not Matthew, Michael Brown's family in Ferguson?
I think he did.
He couldn't, and when he was
and
playing
it was
golf,
an effort to try and control this rioting.
Franklin, all right,
which is what he should have done.
Let me ask you, on Sunday, he went and played golf and went to a Democrat Party fundraiser. Are you telling me that he didn't think a phone call to these 5 servicemen's family would have been a good thing? Rather than playing golf?
John.
Franklin, you can't defend that.
Yeah, I can. Of course I can.
Why? What would it hurt for him to call? What would have been the damage for him to call? Why not? That's the question. Why not?
John,
tell me why not.
John, I'm going to ask you the same
No,
question.
answer me
Are
why
all
not.
of the other servicemen who've died in service to our country entitled to the same
Let me
treatment?
put it, it's not a direct analogy,
No,
but let
it
me give you an analogy that explains how I feel about that, Franklin. In 8 years, Ronald Reagan never entered the Oval Office without his suit jacket on. No matter how hot it was, no matter what the circumstances was, he felt out of respect. He always wore that jacket. So in my opinion, that the President of the United States, every minute of the day that he can reach out to someone who's been afflicted, it's a good thing. And so for him to choose to go play golf and to go to a political fundraiser rather than to make 5 phone calls to 5 families, and you're right, maybe I would have him on the phone all the time, but I would.
Obama's in visiting Kenya right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's starting to tell Kenya what to do.
Yeah, the president more or less of Kenya told him to, well, actually it wasn't Kenya, was it Ethiopia?
Yeah.
Told him basically to mind his own business.
What's your point?
I'm just trying to see. Maybe he's
got
another country.
Yesterday he gave a speech in Africa that said they had to solve most of their own problems. You disagree with that?
No, but he needs to quit telling them how to solve it. That's the problem.
What did he tell them how to do?
He told them to quit persecuting homosexuals and to open up to gay rights.
Okay.
All right. Do you think Hillary Clinton's in trouble right now?
I have no reason to think that at this point.
Okay, senior Democrats are seeing what the rest of us see. A Clinton campaign that is burning money and losing ground. At what point do party leaders begin a panic search for alterations? Not yet, but when? Did you know Hillary used to be a Republican?
Oh, yeah. Her father was a Republican.
Her parents.
Her father was a Republican.
Got a caller coming in. Yeah. Go ahead, caller. You're live.
Got a question for Franklin.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Franklin, do you think that it costs to fly 2 jets to Kenya?
It costs a lot.
It costs $200 million.
Yeah, probably so.
How much would that have done to secure the Mexican border?
How much money, how far would that go to raising the children of the 5 people that were killed in Chattanooga, the 5 military people that were killed in Chattanooga, and the people, the soldiers that have been killed in Iran and Iraq? How far would that go to educating their children and taking care of their families?
Well, I guess it would go a long way toward that. The president, all presidents, not just this one, they have a big job. And part of their job is conducting the foreign policy of this country and doing the things that advance our interests. This president is following up on things that were started under the previous administration.
Here we go again.
It's true, and I support those things.
Yeah, but he didn't go on as many trips to Africa as this president did, and he got it all started without going on trips.
I have seen him interviewed saying that he thinks that amongst the best things that President Obama has done has been his emphasis on Africa. So, I understand it's easy to point to any expenditure, but I think that we also have to look at what the long-term interest of the nation is, and that's a part of the world that we have to address. And if we help to address some of the conditions in those countries, then it also helps to hold down the influence of some of those groups like Al-Qaeda and so forth, and helps keep them from developing a foothold there greater than they do in places like Yemen.
But Al-Qaeda's on the run and has been decimated under this president.
In large part, it has.
Oh, Franklin, give me a break.
Right,
they're everywhere in the world.
Caller,
but now, wait, the caller brings up another interesting point.
Caller's there. I want to see if they got anything else.
Well, he also makes the point that when we talked about the Purple Heart for these men, without that Purple Heart, they don't get a lot of the benefits that they would get. Now, their families are deprived, their fathers, their income earners now for the rest of their life. And they were deprived purely because these men were in service to the country. Had they not been working at that recruiting station, at that annex down there, they wouldn't have died. So without the Purple Heart, they don't get some of the benefits.
They get other benefits, though. Without getting too far into the weeds about it, there's a different kind of.
But they would get more if they were designated with the Purple Heart.
Undoubtedly, but let's also be fair about this. There is a process that you go through for this evaluation, and it does not start at the top. It starts in the Department of Defense.
You're right, but the problem with the Fort Hood, and the
first.
reason it took so long with the Fort Hood is because this administration was more interested in making sure that we didn't say there was a terrorism attack on their watch than they were in doing the right thing. And so it took years before they were able, and then amazingly, they were able to give these Purple Hearts at Fort Hood without officially saying, oh, yes, by the way, this was an act of terrorism.
Okay. Let me finish my little point here, and then I'll get off here and leave you.
Okay.
The thing about it is, here we are in America, supposed to be one of the best countries in America, and we have somebody in Washington, D.C. that is trying to take away the majority of the benefits for the veterans of the foreign wars. I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I went to get my medical attention from the VA, and the point that I'm making right here is my father is 98 years old, and I'm 70, but I am on the same medication that he is, and his doctor and his pharmacy charges him $17 for one prescription, and I got mine through the Veterans Administration, and it cost me $27. I mean,
sure. Let me ask you a question. As a veteran, do you like going to the Veterans Hospital, or would you just like to go to any hospital?
Absolutely not.
Well, wouldn't it be easier for you to go to any hospital?
It would be easier for me to go to Memorial or Erlang.
Don't you think that we ought to just get rid of the veteran hospitals?
I most certainly do.
By the way, this past week, there was a Veterans Administration psychiatrist on a chat page with veterans, and one of the veterans was talking about gun rights, and the guy said, just go off yourself. Now, this is a VA psychiatrist talking to a veteran with suicide among veterans at an all-time high, and really we consider it a crisis, and a psychiatrist told the guy to go off himself.
I think Steve's idea is one that has some merit, but I will tell you this, the majority of veterans organizations don't support that idea.
You know what?
I think, well, I just say they don't right now. but I still think it's an idea worth looking into.
I think they would. I think that there's some liabilities in the fact that some of these veterans are so bad, they think that maybe the hospital couldn't handle them.
Well, it's also a bird in the hand's worth two in the bush type argument. The devil you know is better than the devil you don't know.
There's an issue for some parts of the country where it's fairly rural still, and there aren't as many hospitals around for them. That's an issue.
There's going to be a hospital closer.
How close is there a VA hospital to those guys?
I'm agreeing with you.
I'm just telling you. Right now, I'm a veteran, and if I had a veteran issue, I'd have to drive to Murfreesboro. That doesn't make any sense.
There's a clinic in Chattanooga, but there's a hospical up there.
Still, it doesn't make any sense.
Here's one more point. I had some. I thought it was melanoma. It was not. I had to go to my own people here, a skin doctor here in Chattanooga, and pay for it. But the Veterans Administration was recommended that I go to Murfreesboro. I went over there, spent the night in order to get to my appointment at 8 o'clock the next morning. And when I got in the Veterans Administration, there was a nurse practitioner over there that was a skin doctor, supposedly. 5 minutes after I walked in the clinic up there, I was going back out the door. And with the expense of going over there and staying all night and being there for my appointment, and this person that was in there, come to find out, Franklin, she was a Russian and just barely could speak English.
All right.
First of all, thank you for your service.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. I want to talk about Donald Trump just for a moment. I know this gets under your skin, so what do you think? Trump's really making a splash right now, isn't he?
My problem with him, and I've told people this, is he's not sincere in what he says. Whether you agree with what he says or disagrees with what he said, he's not sincere. That's what bothers me.
What do you mean you don't?
1999, he said he was absolutely, completely pro-choice. Now he's pro-life. 2008, he said he was a Democrat. Now he's a Republican. 2012,
you think he'll fix the border?
I don't know what he'll do. That's what I'm telling you. That's what bothers me. You know, I have a friend in D.C., actually pretty prominent, very, very liberal law professor up there. In 94, I asked him, I said, well, I guess you're happy Clinton and Gore won. He said, no, not really. And I said, why not? Now, he was big environmentalist, all kinds of things. And I said, why? And he said, well, with Bush, even though he opposed what we're trying to do, you knew where he was at. You knew where he was going to be and what he was going to do. And you knew what the battle was going to be. With Clinton and Gore, he said, we never know whether they're actually going to do what they say they're going to do or not. He said, I'd rather have somebody that I can trust to do what they say, even if I oppose it. That's my problem with Trump. 2012, he criticized Mitt Romney for being too harsh on immigration. So that's my problem with him. And this talk about a third party, all a third party will do is skew and Franklin may like it, but he would have to admit, third party, at least the way we're set up right now, all it does is whatever side that third party comes from. In 2000, a lot of people think Nader probably skewed the election towards Bush.
In 1980, John Anderson skewed the election toward Reagan. In 2000. Excuse me, in 92, 96, I think Perot skewed it toward it. And I think
Clinton
Nader
keep in mind, folks, Clinton never won 50% of the vote.
I'm going to say it again.
Absolutely affects the election.
I think people are tired of politicians.
But what is
I don't disagree with
what is Trump?
I don't disagree with
not a
that.
politician.
Well, let me give you one that's not a politician. Carly Fiorina's not a politician.
I like her.
If you but the difference is she's sincere.
I like
in what
her a
she
lot.
Says.
I want to end this with something that I caught in an article. Reality TV fisherman indicted on federal fraud charges. A star of TV's Wicked Tuna Show has been indicted on federal fraud charges. The indictment says Paul Hebert claimed to be disabled and unable to work while he was catching fish and appearing on the National Geographic Channel reality show. A 4-count indictment against a 50-year-old from Gloucester, Massachusetts, was filed Friday in U.S. District Court in Burlington, Vermont. It alleges that Hubert accepted a little more than $44,000 in Social Security and Medicaid benefits between 2010 in 2013. How dumb is he? And that just shows some of the fraud that's out there. It's everywhere. It's just everywhere. All right, folks, I guess that's another week. Franklin.
By the way, Franklin, it's already started. The Kentucky Juvenile Department has now barred a minister who's been counseling students in their, in their corrections program for 10 years. They've barred him because he believes homosexuality is a sin.
Hold on, before we leave, I want to play something for you. Put your headset back. This is a gay right deal in San Francisco. Anyway, 1.8%.
Well, this guy has counseled for 10 years, and they've told him because he won't admit that homosexuality is not a sin, he is now barred from counseling the young people. It's already started. Litmus tests.
Bye-bye. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to Backfire with Steve Hickson, John Stanberry, and Franklin Chansey. Catch them again on Whoop FM at noon today and every Wednesday morning from 7:30 to 8:30. Now, back to more music on Whoop FM.